We are back, and joining me now is Lauren Glendenning. She is with the Vail Trail and the Vail Daily. She's the community editor. She's going to give us a preview of what we can expect in tomorrow's Vail Trail. And this is a weekly newspaper, which is kind of fun because you can spend a little more time, go more in depth for these stories, because you don't have to turn it the next day like you would for the daily.
Exactly.
But what's up for this week's paper?
We have a big cover story about transportation problems on Interstate 70, and everyone knows, it's very congested from Denver all the way to Glenwood Springs. And most of the highway is just 2 lanes on each side for most of the way. So the state's trying to figure out how to fix the problem, and do you widen it? And the main concern is, how do you pay for it? Because they're already $65 billion short in transportation money, and there's structurally deficient bridges all over the state. Roads are not doing well,
and with all the snow and the road plows and everything, and boy, I was just driving to Denver last week, and there's a lot of potholes. The roads are really torn up.
The roads take a beating in this state, and it's really hard to figure out how to pay for it. And a lot of people want to see, especially up in the mountains, want to see mass transit, some kind of rail system to get people from Denver to the mountains, but that could cost $10 billion just to build it. And if we can't pay for the roads that we already have, it seems like it might be a long time before we see some kind of high technology mass transit system. So it's really interesting, and it's difficult. There's a lot of studies being conducted on how to pay for it. Is it feasible? Because if you have a mass transit system, it's got to be able to withstand all the elements that we live in up here, and it's a rugged terrain, so it's going to be tough.
All right, that's a very interesting story, very timely, since we had so many people traveling on I-70 this winter. And then another story you're doing, toxins in everyday products.
Yeah, there's a lot of chemicals and toxic sort of chemicals in everyday things like shampoo, soap, shoe polish, and a lot of this stuff isn't really going to affect you unless you're eating it. I don't eat my shampoo. I don't think you do either. No. But the writer who wrote the story just kind of explores where they are, where they're lurking, and how dangerous they might be, and if it matters.
All right, and then you're doing a chef segment, exotic spices that chefs use.
Yep, a lot of chefs in the valley are using these really exotic spices from different countries and kind of incorporating it into the cuisine that they're cooking in the restaurants, and just kind of adds a little flavor and something new and different to the food.
I know with the off season, a lot of these chefs travel, so they pick up different, they get different ideas from the locations they go, kind of bring those ideas back to the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly, and there's a lot of stuff you've never even heard of, and a lot of it's pretty subtle, but it's neat stuff. It's pretty interesting, yeah.
And then the last story what I want to mention is eagles in Eagle County. Of course, there's a reason we're named this.
Yeah, there's eagles, golden eagles and bald eagles all throughout the county, and it's just kind of a little recap of how to recognize them and their habitats, what they eat, things like that. It's a pretty cool story. Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, the Vail Trail will be coming out tomorrow, Friday through Thursday, and then we switch it up with the next one, and you can also look it up online.
Online, all these stories are online already at vailtrail.com.
Okay, so you can get your preview right now.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in, Lauren.
Thank you.
And Lauren will be joining us next week, giving us a preview of the following week's Vail Trail. And always, you can check out the Vail Daily, vaildaily.com, or pick it up for free in newspaper dispensers all throughout Eagle County. We'll be right back.